what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Battlefield Project podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Rhoda, and we are the podcast for people who understand that life is a battle and only the strong will thrive. In a minute here, I'm going to introduce my good friend here, Eddy Gomez. But first, I have a favor to ask of all of you. If you watch this episode and you get any value out of it, which I'm sure you will, and you think the message is relevant to someone in your life that you may know, please share the show with them. The purpose of this podcast is to inspire other people and to shed the light on the fact that everybody in life has a battle that they experience or multiple battles that they've experienced. And the winners are the people who fight their way through those battles and come out stronger on the other side. So if you have someone in your life who this message might resonate with, please share it with them. That's how we're going to grow the show. So thank you in advance. All right. I got my good friend here, Eddy Gomez. I'm going to do a quick introduction, then the floor is his. So he is from Spain. He is a former basketball player. He's now the founder and CEO of Relentless Coaching. He is 27 years young. I love when people put years young. That's how I'm always like, yeah, I'm 40 years young, man. I'm not old. And his mission, which I absolutely love and adore, is to help as many people around the world live a life of giving to others. Eddy, man, welcome to the show, and thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you for having me here, Matthew. It's an honor to be on this battlefield.
My pleasure, man.
Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. Yeah. So whatever you're comfortable sharing with the audience, man, any battles that you've experienced in life and then what you did to fight your way through those battles, we'd love to hear it.
Of course. And I love this podcast because now on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform you go, all you see most of the time is positive. All that you see is wins. And it's not like that. Everyone since the first second of the morning struggles, even waking up out of bed, you're shocking the body. That's already the first struggle. Even if you want to wake up or not, you are struggling the body. You're shocking the body. So yeah, my struggle happened in 2020. Actually, you mentioned that I used to play basketball. That's correct. I had a contract waiting for me to play in Europe, back home. And one of the practices, I went for a dunk and my hand completely slipped out of the rim. And, I herniated my L1 to L5 with bulging disc. I wasn't able to walk for a while. 18 months of rehab. Within that week, my cousin passed away. Many things in my personal life happened as well. So, through that time, COVID was still going on. This happened on December 2020. And I knew I had to go home. Well, first of all, because I had to attend a funeral. Embassies start to give me a lot of trouble. You cannot travel without the vaccine, without a test, without anything, So I have to call a lot of authorities, until they finally help me get home. I get to the funeral within 20 minutes before it starts. It was mind-blowing. I get home, everything happens, and once I'm with my family or myself, I tell them everything that was going on, and I'm that type of person that I used to satisfy everyone and leave myself for last. So many people didn't even know what I was going through physically or mentally, for a while. And I spoke to my family, and soon after we sought professional help. I went to a psychology. I went to treat my injuries with small procedures, and that lasts for a month. For a month, I got ready. I came back to the US to try to play, to see if things were still good. Soon after, I realized that I wasn't recovered. One slip, and again, I got injured. And on March, like through February to May, I had a lot of intrusive thoughts, let's say that way. And in May, I was finally diagnosed with depression. May all the way to October of 2021. Yeah, it was a hard battle. I'm gonna be honest. In terms of I had to figure out a lot of things, and I knew I didn't want anyone around me. I just had to do this by myself. Through that process, I understood that I didn't want no one to go through the feelings that I was battling, you know. And that's actually what led me towards the creation of Relentless Coaching. As you guys can see the logo behind me, you know. I wanted to help people, and that's when I actually that's what I was that's when I was born, you know. That's when I realized what I wanted to do for a living, you know, helping people. And not only helping as a transaction, just be more giving, you know. So for example, now I might go on a walk, you know, and this happened like 2 weeks ago. I went on a walk. I saw a homeless man that he was reading a book, and it caught my attention, you know. And the next day that I saw him again, I actually stopped, you know, and I asked him about it. You know, hey, what are you reading? You know, like, here, I'm gonna give you a book. Boom. You know, things like that. Like little holy moments. You know, like I'm a firm believer of God. You know, and yes, like I truly believe that I'm here for a reason. I'm here to help others. You know, to be nice, to do things that nowadays we don't see as much. Let's be honest. You know, a lot of people are just focused about themselves, about making money, about, you know, like not caring about your brothers, your sisters, you know. So I chose that other lifestyle, and I mean, everything, understanding that it starts within me. If I'm not 100%, I'm not gonna be able to be 100%. So that's why I developed these habits that has helped me become stronger. Obviously, basketball is not even an option anymore. I have a chronic injury. 2 weeks ago, I won on a scrimmage, you know, like a local league.
Yep.
It felt great, I'm gonna be honest. But the next 2 days, my back was killing me. I was like, wow. But you know, it was such a fun time. So that's the only things that go on. But yeah, you know, 8 months of a hard battle. I will say that the first thing that I didn't want was to ask for help. Once I asked for help and I got professional help, I actually fell in love into hiring people that helped me better.
Yeah.
You know, 2022 was a great personal year for me. You know, I focused on myself and I kept my circle very, very tight. You know, every single day of 2022, somehow, let's say that way, because that's something that people knows. I basically did 75 hard every single day.
Yeah.
I actually include this as a habit, like habit. I'm gonna be honest. There's some days that actually there's some things that slipped, you know. But every day I got my workouts. Every day I got the progress. Every day I got the diet. Every day I read. I journal, you know. And every day I didn't drink alcohol, but my birthday and Halloween actually. Yeah. So, you know, it has been a long road. Like 2020, 2021 was a long road. I mean, I'm so grateful that this happened. And what I thought that it was going to be a nightmare at the end of my life actually ended up being the beginning of it.
The beginning of the best.
The beginning of the best. You just said it, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you've said so many important, valuable things. You said something in the beginning, and then in the last like couple minutes, you kind of connected the dots. In the beginning, you said how you poured like yourself into others constantly and kind of put yourself last. I think that's in good people, which you are. No, like I like to consider myself a good person. Like that's what good people instinctively do, is want to give and help. And sometimes it's at the expense of ourselves because we're putting others first and not focusing on making sure that our cup's full first. So I think that's a really important thing for people listening to understand, is you've got to have your cup full first, and you've got to make sure you're taken care of and you're in a good spot before you can truly help others. Because if you're just helping others, but you're struggling, eventually you're going to break, and then you're not going to be able to help others. So that whole goal of helping, giving is going to just disappear. And then at the end, you mentioned, you know, in the last couple of minutes that, you know, these little holy moments that you now like bless other people with because you're in such a good space. So now you take care of yourself. Now you make sure you're number one. And then because that strength is in you and that energy is alive and well in you, you're able to go out in the world and see those moments and then take action. So let's rewind 2 years, you were probably giving and helping and giving at like 50, 75% capacity. And even though it felt like 100 at the time, but because you weren't 100, you couldn't really give 100. And now that you're 100, like your ability to give and help others is magnified. And like, it's a huge difference between when you were struggling and trying to give. And now when you're in a really, really good spot, you can give infinitely because your cup's always full because you're keeping your cup full. That's so important, man.
Exactly, like literally, that's what I was doing. Like some teammates, hey, come help me with this. I got you.
Yeah.
Friends, hey, I need help at my house. I got you.
Yeah.
Like different things going on, and
Yeah.
then I will get at the end of the night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't able to work on this. I wasn't able to study for my final tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like what? You know, and to me studies was very, very important, and that's when I started to realize like, hey, I need to start putting more time into myself.
Yeah.
Like if I don't love myself, I don't love no one, literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's funny because my parents, the last time I saw them was 2 years ago, and I actually saw them again this year. And my dad actually mentioned it's like, I have a new son.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
There's no better feeling than that, than
I was just
knowing
gonna say it's got to be the greatest feeling in the world to hear that.
that they see that transformation, not only physical, because with when I hit depression, I actually gained over 35 pounds.
Wow.
But also mental.
Yeah.
Like I had conversations with my dad when he was here, and he was like, how is my son thinking like that? Like sometimes I was mind blowing him. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it was such a good feeling.
Yeah.
But I always, whoever is listening to this, you first, and it starts with the morning routine, and that's something that I follow very religiously. Like I actually have a morning routine. I like to follow a morning routine. Do everything that focus on you first.
Yep.
Then the end of the world. I'm sorry, the end of the world. The rest of the world comes after you.
Yeah. And something else you said, man, which coincides perfectly with what you just said and talk about, is how you once you got right, you got very strict or focused on who was in your circle. I think that, because here's the thing, if you're surrounding yourself with a big or a small circle, but it's the right circle and it's the right people, they're going to understand, appreciate, and encourage you putting yourself first because they know how important that is. But if you're surrounding yourself with people who are takers and take, and don't understand the importance of making yourself a priority because they're not making themselves a priority, they're going to drain your energy. They're going to suck your energy. They're going to break you down. But if you have that small circle of people who really know what it's like to operate at a high level, they're going to encourage you to do the same thing. And there's really there's no stopping you. Like if you have that inner power and then you have people, your closest people around you that also share that power because they have that power in them, like there's literally nothing in the world that can stop you because you'll either get through it yourself or those people will help you get through it.
Look, when I hit rock bottom, I'm a very competitive person. I love to win. I'm very competitive. And I knew that when I hit rock bottom, it was a competition against myself. That's the first thing I realized, like I'm competing now against myself, no one else. And, like I lost a lot of friends. Well, let me rephrase that. I lost a lot of people, which I thought that they were friends, and that even though that was very painful, those because obviously like I have a heart, everyone has a heart, and those memories that you build with people that you actually care about, and soon after you start to hit some hard moments or you want a different lifestyle, they start to separate. You don't understand. It's like, wait, like come on, like we're friends, but it was so good to understand who are ride or die, literally, by my side no matter what. And that's also something that helped me through this process. Who's actually going to be there. I'm gonna be honest, for a while I was alone. Like I actually only kept one friend, and after like 2 months, into my transformation, 2 months into, like healing, people started to actually call me. Like this is what I did. I actually stopped calling everyone, stopped texting everyone. I wanted to see who were there. If people will text me, I will text them back, and I will actually keep in touch with them.
Yep.
I knew that they were there for me. If not, there's people that I haven't texted in 3 years, 2 years. Like, I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
But one of the best things that has happened to me is, keep my circle small.
Yeah.
The more, because if you keep your circle so big, you have to get to so many people in different manners, different ways, and at the end of the day, you cannot keep up with that. And you need the people that they are not demanding so much from you, rather that that they are supporting you, and no matter what, even if you don't talk to them for 30 days, and we all have those friends, we don't talk for 30 days, but then you pick up the phone like, what's up, man? How are you doing? And they're like, things are great. That's the people that I need. And,
absolutely, man.
So that's what happened, man. Here at bottom, I started to distance myself. I was very lonely for a little bit, and then I started to see that those friends that they were like, what the heck are you doing? They started, instead of the what the heck, they were like, I wanna do what you're doing. How do I get started? So I went from be led to lead.
Absolutely.
And there's no better feeling than knowing that your circle is getting better because your actions, because you actually design, and I know that you do that as well.
Yeah, I love everything you're saying right now, man. Like we're soulmates on that level. Like it's exactly it, dude. Like there's no greater feeling than knowing the life that we live can inspire other people, hopefully, to live a better life because they're watching us set the example. To me, I'm like, why else would God have put us on this earth than to do good and be good so you can inspire other people to do the same thing? Like it's kind of that simple.
And at the end of the day, it's about how many lives I touch, literally. Like, I care about me, yes, but it's about how many lives I touch.
What's the impact? Yeah.
What's the impact? We do the same, and we deal with busy professionals, we deal with mom, dads, okay, whatever it is. If I know that by changing the mama or the daddy, I know I'm going to be able to help the son have a better time or a longer life with the mom and dad, mission accomplished, man. Something that I remember is every moment of my childhood. I remember a lot of it. I remember the way my dad talked to me, the way my dad played with me, my mom, treated me, everything. So I know that, and they were 100%, every time. Like, I know that, I mean, they are great at taking care of themselves and taking care of others. Now I want to imagine, what if my life would have been like a 50%? How different it would have been. So that's why I'm so focused on, like, hey, come on.
The last thing I want to say and kind of talk to you about is when you mentioned, you were basketball star, ready to like get a contract in Europe, and then this injury happened. Was that kind of like the first bomb that went off for you that kind of set you down like the depression path? Because it was like, hey, I'm going to be a basketball player. This is my future. This is what I've worked for. This is what I'm passionate about. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoop, that just got taken away from me because of this injury. And now like you kind of lost your identity a little bit.
It's not, I lost my identity. I lost my vision, and something that I truly feel that we should do more is prepare athletes to a second life, just in case that doesn't happen. It's true that I was getting my studies. I got my major, my master, but you never think that, I mean, that's going to happen afterwards, it shocked me a lot, to be honest. My dream of playing basketball back home, it was something that I fought for, like many years. Since the age of 4 that I started playing, I would say since the age of 10, I knew that I wanted to play back home with my crowd, my family watching me. My dad is my hero. I always say that he's my best friend. And he played professional basketball.
Okay.
I mean,
you want to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, he just wanted to follow his footsteps. When I grew up, he never missed a basketball game. He never missed a practice. He put time out of his own to coach me every single day. Extra hours. Every time that I say, can we touch a ball? He said, let's go. How many hours? So when that happened, it was a very sad feeling not being able to be like, hey, Dad, I'm ready. Thank you.
All that hard work that we put in together.
It was very hard for me, man.
Very
hard. It's still to this day hard.
I believe you.
It's hard because I know how bad he wanted to see his son playing professional basketball.
Yeah.
And we both know the countless hours that we have put. So when that happens, it's like, wow, Now I'll tell you this, it might sound like something negative. Actually, I think it was the most positive thing that happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't believe in negativity. I actually believe that everything that happens is positive. It elevates you to a greater cause.
Yeah.
So even though it was rough, it actually created the person that I needed to be.
Yep.
When I play basketball, yes, I had good values. I was a good person, but I wasn't in the mindset that I am right now. And if you tell me, hey, would you choose your professional career or actually helping people? I will actually choose the second one any day, because the feeling that I have, that I get by elevating someone else's life, is greater than a kid's dream.
Scoring 30 points in a basketball game.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I would change it any day, man.
God, man. I knew we were friends like via Facebook messages and like connecting that way and like that. But I'm so glad we had this conversation, dude. Like I admire and respect you more than I could even put into words, dude. Like everything you just said. And to go back for a quick second on, you said you went through this depression and you fought your way through it, and immediately, like, the kind of person you are, you were immediately like, I don't want anyone else to have to deal with that, what I just dealt with. What can I do to change those people's lives, and like to make sure I give to the world in a way that if I could help one person who is on the verge of going down the wrong path in depression and get them over here and give them a good life and a fulfilled life and a purpose driven life, like the fact that you got, your dream got crushed, for putting it lightly, your identity got, stripped out from under you, your vision was eliminated with this injury, and within a year, let's say, and let's even round up and say within a year, you were able to shift all that kind of like tragedy and devastation into, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. What can I do to make the world a better place and to give life and love to people? It's phenomenal, man. Like some people would have, build a vision for their career and their future for 20 something years and then have it ripped out and never get to that point where they want to help other people because they're the victim and life isn't fair, and now what am I going to do, and I'm bitter and I'm upset at everyone and everything, and that's their life, that's the story of the rest of their lives. Like you switched it like in a very short period of time on a cosmic level, within a year, being like, no, like, and so that's impressive. And then like I 100% agree with everything you said there in the last couple minutes about there's nothing negative. Like you, again, that all could have happened. You could have been bitter, pissed off. My dad's never going to, my dad's always going to be disappointed because I'm not, fulfilling the dream that we had, blah, 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 blah. But instead you were like, no, like that was a blessing. And if I had to choose where I am today or where I could have been had that not happened, I would choose where I am today. I wish everybody in this world would have that kind of mentality and that mindset, because that's it, man. That is the purpose of this show. That's the purpose of what I want to do on this earth. That's why I said earlier, like jokingly, like we're soul, like we share the same soul. Like we're having this human experience from a very similar level, because that's it, dude. If you can go through life and get kicked and punched and have dreams ripped away from you and go through depression and all that stuff, and still at the end of the day look at all of that collectively and say, no, you know what, that's all a good thing that has happened to me, because if I use that properly, I can grow and evolve. And then if I grow and evolve, I can help other people experience the same kind of evolution and transformation. Like what else is there? Like you are literally like doing everything that a human being should do on this earth, which is using hardship to create joy for yourself and then help other people create that joy and that fulfillment. Like check, you're nailing it, dude.
And you just mentioned it, hardship. The more hard it is, the better it's gonna help you. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love her, and you said it, we're soulmates. I see that you grind. We've been connected for over a year now. And, like even though, and I know that feeling, sometimes we actually, that brain, those feelings, I know we want to eat. I know we don't want to work out sometimes. I know that we want to sleep, but there's a greater cause of like, hey, I'm holding people, like I'm showing the steps. In your case, for example, you also have the motivation. Not me yet, but you have the motivation like, hey, my daughter is going to marry me. In terms of like, for your daughter, you are the best, the most unique, the more extraordinary man in this earth.
Yeah.
And he's gonna try to find a man with your characteristics.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, so you setting that example, you are making her homework very hard. I'll tell you that. And that's exactly what happened with my mom. My mom is such a queen, such a great person, that she put the standards and the values here. And for a while, I couldn't find the girl of my dreams, literally.
Yeah.
And like it's hard, and finally, looks like I found that girl, but it took me a lot of patience, and sticking to those standards, to those values.
Yeah. Man, I've enjoyed this conversation thoroughly, brother.
Same,
I get on these podcasts all the time, and I'm like, yeah, like we'll have a cool conversation. We'll see where it goes. And like sometimes they hit me, man. This one hit me. This was I don't want to say it was unexpected, because I know the kind of person you are, and I expected you to drop some value and deliver some value to the audience and myself personally, but I didn't think it was going to hit at this extent, man. So thank you.
Anytime, and thank you for having me. If you ever need anything, I'm here for.
Likewise, brother. Where can people find you online if they want to learn about Relentless Coaching or just connect with you personally?
Man, look, Eddy Gomez 10, EDYGOMEZ 10 is my Instagram handle. Eduardo Gomez del Casal, EDUARDO GOMEZ DELCASAL is my Facebook. We go from there, literally. Like that's my website. My Instagram, my Facebook, my website is my landing page. I don't even it's not even for a transaction. It's for if I can impact you in somehow, the same as you post, you're not trying to create any money out of me. And I see your post, and some days I can motivate it too, to keep going. If you hang out with people with the same thermostat, you're going to elevate each other.
Constantly rising it.
So that's why I love that. In fact, I actually have a book, which actually I have here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a page, High Achievers, and there's people that I have listed, and I actually go read, take notes, of how they are, everything. It's like a basketball game. I analyze every single thing. So yeah, man.
Awesome, brother.
But yes,
thank you, man. I appreciate you. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, if you've got value out of it, and I always expect some value to be dropped, I feel like this is one you can watch over and over and over again and continue to pull nuggets of wisdom out and inspiration out of it, because it was that impactful. So thank you, man. I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate you being a guest on the podcast and sharing so much value with our audience, dude.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
All right, everybody.
See you.
All right, I'll see you on the battlefield.